Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Alex Jones is one of Donald Trump's, your president, staunchest supporters. Yeah, fam. He loves Donald Trump so much that he even holds his hands like him. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. So, anyway, fam, Alex recently made some comments that rubbed Trump the wrong way. What did Alex say? Alex Jones said that we need to be sad about Trump. This is not funny. This is not good. But he's gone. And that's it. So he's gone. Yeah. And he said, we need to be sad about Trump. Give me a thumbs up, fam, if you think that we need to be sad about Trump. Thumbs down if you say, man, there's a lot of things to be sad for. And he ain't one. Look, fam, I'm not going to be sad about Trump ever. What I'm sad about is the conditions he's caused. I'm sad about these damn grocery prices and the price of gasoline and putting American lives in peril with unjust wars. Yeah, I'm sad about how we allowed one individual to rape and pillage the American economy and use the White House and the U.S. budget for his personal piggy bank. Yeah, that's what I'm sad about. I'm sad about the trajectory this country is on. At this rate, it'll take at least 100 years to undo the damage he's caused. I know it may be hard to see right now, fam, because we're in it. We're in the middle of it. And plus, we haven't seen anything like this before. So we tend to take things like this for granted. Like, oh, man, it'll be over in a minute. No, fam. You got to understand the climate that we're in and what caused it. You got to understand that Congress are the culprits here. They empowered him. They're the reason why he's in the position he's in. Yeah, you can blame it on the Republicans more, but the Democrats got a lot to do with it too. See, they didn't think fat meat was greasy. They were too coward to go at him all the way and destroy him after he broke all those laws. They didn't have it in them to crush him. See, Trump would have crushed them. The Republicans would have crushed any Republicans because, that's the way that they rock. They would have made sure that they crushed a Democrat who did that much, who was involved in that much corruption. Oh, they would have never given him a chance like that, fam. But they were too coward. Or perhaps they were just a little too slick for all of us. And they was playing the game all along. Now, I know all of the Democrats ain't on board with it, fam. But there's a fair amount of Democrats, including John Fetterman, who is a Democrat but tends to vote Republican more often than he votes in favor of his own party. He seems to be one of those dudes, and if he's in there, then you know that there's others, right? And besides the fact, as I've said before, every single atrocity that has ever happened in this country, all of the bad things that happen to Black people in this country and even other people in this country, including white people, has happened on the Democrats' watch or the Republicans' watch. If it happened on the Democrats' watch, the Republicans watched it happen. If it happened on the Republicans' watch, the Democrats watched it happen. So yeah, fam, they're all in the same game, man. I don't trust none of them. I mean, absolutely none of them. Yeah, instead of saying that we need to be sad about Trump, he should have said we should be sad about the conditions that Trump has caused this country to be in. Yeah. But this is the forever cycle, right? Democrats come into power usually lowering cost. They lower the cost of living, and then they alienate a certain sector of America with their overly progressive ideas, right? Then you get a certain amount of Americans who get tired of that, and they say, I'm gonna vote anything but Democrat. So then the Republicans come into power and they rape and pillage, and they forget about the little guy. Well, they forget about everybody except the 1%. And I mean the high 1%, right? The top 1%. And then everything's messed up like we are right now, And then the Democrats come back into power. They show their ass with the overly progressive methods and initiatives, behavior. People get tired of it. And then they vote Republican again. And then it's rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. That's all it is, fam. Just over and over and over again, the same old thing. How about we put another 50 cents in the tip jar for Alex Jones being right? You know, since he's been sued for that $1 billion or whatever that was, 10 billion, whatever that number was, he's been talking like he has a little sense, which leads me to believe that it's been all an act all along, right? It's like, yo, I got to cater to this side right here. I got to pander to these people, and I got to let them hear what they want to hear. I have to say what they want to say. And if people are going to accuse me of being the catalyst for chaos, then so be it. Money, 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 money. Give me that money. Give me that money. Because, boy, at one point, he was making so much money. I'm sure he still is making a lot of money. But at one point, he was absolutely killing it. Yeah. Yeah. I personally don't have the luxury of being sad for Trump. I'm too pissed. I don't have the luxury. But Alex Jones, he got this one right. No matter who you vote for, you always get a John McCain. Now, what do I mean by that, man? What do I mean by that? John McCain was like, even though he was in the Republican Party, he was kind of like right up the middle, right? You know, it's like you hate the guy, but at the same time, he has some redeeming qualities, right? So you don't want to throw him all the way out, right? When I look back at the Republican Party when John McCain was alive, he was about the only Republican that I saw that I could say, I kind of like this guy, right? Even though he has these other ways and he's part of this, I kind of like this guy, right? But at the same time, there was a lot of people on the Democrat side that I just have not ever liked, never rocked with. I don't like do-nothing politicians, number one. And there are a lot of do-nothing politicians. Sometimes doing nothing is worse than doing something. You got these guys who sit up in office and get voted in year after year after year. And you can't name one thing they've done to improve the quality of life for you and your family. Think about what I'm saying, fam. Think about what I'm saying. Some of these people have been in office for 20, 30, 40 years. You can't name one thing they've done to improve the quality of your life. All you can do is point to them making arguments in congressional hearings, them talking tough after some major crime and how they're going to be tough on crime and all this type of stuff. or somebody going overboard, some right winger going overboard about racism or something, and they issuing a tough warning that that type of rhetoric shouldn't be allowed. And you remember them perhaps showing up to your grandmama's uh, 60th, uh, 70th birthday party, 60th wedding anniversary, and they took some pictures, or they came and they spoke at the school and they said some pretty words. They delivered the commencement speech or something, and that's all you really remember them doing. Just stopping by, taking pictures and stuff, and making nice little pretty speeches. But other than that, you can't point to one thing that they've done to improve your quality of life. Not one thing can you point to. And I can name several on both sides. What they do is, a lot of times, they just stick around to get the check. They come out, pop a few pills. Before they come out, they pop a few pills, hit a couple of lines, and hit that flask. Then they come out there. The American people and the American people, and God bless America. And get their pats on the back, take a few pictures, and then they off to the next little stop. And then they just continue to pad their pockets and play the American people. That's what they do. Alex Jones, personally, I still think he's a con artist. I don't trust him. I absolutely don't trust him. Even a broken clock is right twice, right? So it's not like he said something that we all didn't know. We already knew Trump was off his rocker. We already knew he was ill. He's like really mentally ill, because you have to be mentally ill to be that hateful, to be that demented, to be in those Epstein files thousands of times. Something has to be wrong with you mentally. You got to be sick. That's sad, but I ain't sad for him. No more talk.